Hello, dear students. Today we will talk about disease leprosy, which is also known as Hansen's disease. Now, here we can see a picture of leprosy person. The person has lost the digits, and we can see the lesions also on the foot. So, leprosy, it is a slow developing progressive disease that damages the skin and nervous system. It is a disease which is caused by the Mycobacterium leprae. So, this is the causative bacterium. Now, the early symptoms of the disease, they begin in the cooler areas of the body and also include the loss of sensation. The signs of leprosy are painless ulcers, skin lesions, even the eyes are damaged because of leprosy. The dryness and reduced blinking can be observed in the eye, and in the later stages the ulcers, they become large, then loss of digits, skin nodules, and facial disfigurement can be observed. The infection spreads from person to person by nasal secretions or droplets. And leprosy, it rarely spreads from the chimpanzees, monkeys, armadillos. Even the susceptibility of getting leprosy may be due to certain human genes also. But the leprosy, it can be treated up to some extent at earlier stages by the use of antibiotics. So now in detail, what is leprosy? So leprosy is a disease which is mainly caused by the bacterium Mycobacterium leprae, and it causes the damage to the skin and the peripheral nervous system. The disease, it develops slowly from 6 months to 40 years. That means it takes a long time to develop, and the result is the skin lesions and deformities. Generally, it is affecting the cooler places of the body, as I earlier said, that is the eyes, nose, earlobes, hands, feet, etc. The skin lesions and deformities, they can be very disfiguring also. Now, the human to human transmission is the primary source of infection. Now, there are some carrier also, like the chimpanzees, monkeys, and nine-banded armadillos. So, the disease is termed a chronic granulomatous disease, similar to the tuberculosis. And it is known as granulomatous disease because it produces the inflammatory nodules in the skin and peripheral nerves over a period of time. Now, if we see the history of leprosy, that is the Hansen's disease, the history goes back to 4000 BC, and the first written document of it can be found in the Egyptians around 1550 BC, and it is well recognized in ancient China, Egypt, India, and there are several references of the disease in the Bible also. In many cultures, earlier it was thought to be the god's punishment or the curse, but now the treatment is available. So no one can say that this is the curse of God. Earlier, the priest and holy people, they used to treat people for leprosy, not the physicians or the medical officers. Now here also we can see another leprosy person's feet. The person has lost the digits and the whole feet can be seen with ulcers. Here the ulcers are present. Now the Romans and Crusaders, they brought the disease to Europe and the Europeans brought it to the Americans. In 1873, Dr. Hansen, he discovered the bacteria in leprosy lesions and suggested that leprosy was an infectious disease, not a hereditary disease, neither a punishment from the god. However, many societies still outcast the patients suffering from the leprosy, but now they are encouraged to go for the treatment as the treatment is available. And earlier days, many priests and many persons, they established colonies for leprosy persons in many countries, and there they served to them. Now, because of Hansen's discovery of Mycobacterium leprae, researchers, they made efforts to find a treatment that would stop or eliminate the Mycobacterium leprae. In early 1900s to about 1940, medical professionals, they injected a type of oil in the skin. But after that, the drugs were invented, and now the persons suffering from leprosy, they are given the multi-drug treatment, and this is quite effective in their treatment. Currently, there are several areas of world where WHO and other agencies, for example, the leprosy mission, they are working to decrease the number of clinical leprosy cases and other diseases such as rabies which occur in remote regions. Now, what causes leprosy? So, as I earlier said, leprosy is caused mainly by Mycobacterium leprae, which is a rod-shaped, slow-growing bacillus, and that is an obligate intracellular bacterium. This Mycobacterium leprae is termed an acid-fast bacterium because of its chemical characteristics. So medical professionals, they use special stains for microscopic analysis, and that stains red on a blue background, and because of the presence of the mycolic acid in the cell wall. Then Zell-Nielsen stain is an example of special staining technique which is used to view the acid-fast organisms under the microscope. Now these organisms, they cannot be cultured on artificial media because this bacteria, it takes long time to reproduce inside the cells. That is, it takes about 12 to 14 days as compared to other bacteria which take only a few minutes to hours. And this bacteria, it grows at a lower temperature, that is 80.9 degree Fahrenheit to 86 degree Fahrenheit. So the cooler areas of the body, they tend to develop the infection. Then the bacteria grow very well in bodies, macrophages and Schwann cells. This Mycobacterium leprae is genetically related to tuberculosis type of bacteria which causes the tuberculosis, and other mycobacteria that infect human. So there are that means the leprosy related diseases. In 2009, investigators they discovered a new mycobacterium species, Mycobacterium lepromatosis, which causes diffuse disease, that is lepromatous leprosy. So this is considered to be one of the tropical diseases, and this new species appeared in the patients located in Mexico and the Caribbean island. So, what are the risk factors for leprosy? Now, people at highest risk are those who live in the areas where leprosy is endemic, that is, parts of India, China, Japan, Nepal, Egypt, and other areas, and especially those people in constant physical contact with the infected people. And there is some evidence that genetic defects in the immune system may also cause certain people to be more likely to become infected. Then additionally, people who handle certain animals known to carry the bacteria are at risk of getting bacteria from the animals. And that only when they don't care for at the time of handling. Now here also we can see the face of a person where the disfiguration can be observed, especially the loss of nose can be observed, and the hair on the eyelids also get lost. Now the basic leprosy symptoms and signs, what are the? Now the early sign and symptoms of leprosy are very subtle, and they occur slowly during the course of years. And the symptoms are similar to those that may occur with the syphilis, tetanus, etc. But the symptoms are numbness. First symptom is the numbness. There is no feeling, and the loss of temperature sensation is also there. Touch sensation is reduced. Pins and needle sensation, that means if the pins and needles they are pricked in the affected areas, the patches where the patches are present, there is no sensation. Then pain in the joints, and nerve injury is there, weight loss is there, then the blisters and rashes they form, then painless ulcers can be seen, skin lesions or the hypopigmented macules, that is the flat pale areas which have lost the color from the area can be observed. The eyes they get damaged, dryness can be observed in the eyes, and reduced blinking is there. Eyes, the person suffering from leprosy cannot blink the eyes. Then later stages, the large ulceration is there, hair loss is there. Then the most evident leprosy symptom is the loss of digits is there. Then facial disfiguration is there, that is the loss of nose is the most visible symptom that can be observed, and the fever, joint pain, edema, these are the symptoms. So this long-term developing sequence of events, it begins and continues on the cooler areas of the body. That means more affected areas are always the cooler areas of the body. Now there are also different forms of leprosy. That is, the multiple forms of leprosy, they are described in the literature, and the forms of leprosy depends on the person's immune response. A good immune response can produce the so-called tuberculoid form of disease, which limited skin lesions and some asymmetric nerve involvement. and a person with poor immune response can result in the lepromatous form, that is characterized by extensive skin and symmetric nerve involvement. But some patients, they have aspects of both forms. So currently two classification systems exist in medical literature. So the here we can classify them as indeterminate leprosy, tuberculoid leprosy, borderline tuberculoid leprosy, mid borderline leprosy, borderline lepromatous leprosy, etc. Now, globally, the healthcare professionals, they are using the Ridley-Joplin classification in evaluating the patient's clinical studies. And in 2009, WHO classifications depends on the number of skin lesions. That is the pluribacillary leprosy and multibacillary leprosy. However, the WHO further modifies their two classifications with the clinical criteria because of the non-availability or non-dependability of the skin smear services. Now, multi-drug therapy with 3 antibiotic treatment is available, and this modified MDT with 2 antibiotic is also available. So for different type of leprosy, the different drug combinations are given to patients, and it is quite effective also. Now the question arises, how does leprosy spreads, and is the leprosy contagious? Now researchers, they suggest that Mycobacterium leprosy spreads person to person by nasal secretions or droplets from the upper respiratory tract and nasal mucosa. Although it is not highly contagious like the flu, but even then they speculate that the infected droplets reach other people's nasal passages and begin the infection there. Some investigators, they also suggest that infected droplets can infect others by entering the broken skin also. From there also it can enter. So Mycobacterium leprae apparently cannot infect the intact skin. Rarely human beings, they get leprosy from few animal species which we earlier mentioned, that is the chimpanzees, monkeys, armadillos, etc. Otherwise, occurrence in animals makes it difficult to eradicate the leprosy from endemic sources. Now, medical researchers, they are still investigating the route of transmission for leprosy, and recent genetic studies, they have demonstrated that several genes are associated with an increased susceptibility to leprosy. So how do healthcare professionals, they diagnose leprosy? So physicians, they diagnose the majority of cases of leprosy by clinical findings, especially since most current cases are diagnosed in the areas which have limited or no laboratory equipments available. So the hypopigmented patches of the skin or reddish skin patches which have lost the sensation, then thickened peripheral nerves, they are the clinical findings for the clinical diagnosis. Then the skin smears or biopsy material which show the acid-fast bacilli when stained with the Zell-Nielsen stain can be used to diagnose the multibacillary leprosy. Then there are some advanced techniques also to diagnose the leprosy. So the healthcare providers, they perform some tests like CBC test, liver function test, creatine tests, or the nerve biopsy, and that can determine the other organs which are affected with the leprosy. Now, what is the treatment for leprosy? Earlier also it was mentioned that antibiotics, they treat the majority of cases, and the recommended antibiotics, their doses, length of time of administration, it all depends on the type of leprosy and the time of it. That means since how long the person was suffering, and how much loss the person is having because of leprosy. In the later stages, treatment becomes more difficult. So when only the patches are present, then it can be treated, and the damage is also less. Then there is a surgery is also one of the treatment. That is, the cosmetic surgery can also be done. Now, what are the complications of leprosy? Now, sensory loss, permanent nerve damage, muscle weakness, then progressive disfigurement. These are some of the major complications of leprosy. Now, what healthcare specialists, they treat the leprosy? Now, there are primary care doctors usually who follow the patients with leprosy, and there are healthcare professionals who make the initial diagnosis and uh, treat the persons. Then there are specialists are there, dermatologists are there, neurologists are there, immunologists are there, and the patients can consult them. And if the damage is more, the surgeons, they can do the cosmetic surgery also. Now, is it possible to prevent the leprosy? So, prevention of contact with the droplets from nasal and other secretions from the patients with untreated infection is currently the most effective way to avoid the disease. Then treatment of patients with the appropriate antibiotic stops the person from spreading the disease. And people who live with the individuals who have untreated leprosy, they are also more prone to develop the disease. So that is why the investigators, they speculate the family members, and they check them also. Now, leprosy is not hereditary, but recent findings, they suggest that the susceptibility to the disease may have some genetic basis. Now, there is no commercially available vaccine to prevent the leprosy, but using the BCG vaccine alone, it can kill the Mycobacterium leprae organisms. Then animals like chimpanzees, monkeys, armadillos, they rarely transfer Mycobacterium leprae to human. So it is not advisable to handle such animals in the wild. So these animals are a source for endemic infection. Now, what is prognosis of leprosy? Now, prognosis of leprosy varies with the stage of the disease. When medical professionals, they diagnose and treat it. Early diagnosis and treatment limits or prevents the tissue damage, so the person has a good outcome. And if the patient's infection has progressed to more advanced disease, the complications are more, and thus the condition has a fair to poor prognosis. Thank you.